Good morning, everybody. Let me do I call him an update, and I felt like I need to mention it. We have a missing college student by the name of Caleb Harris in Corpus Christi, Texas. And it's been, I guess, over a month now that Caleb has been missing. And I read the local news. And sometimes I do deal with issues that I think are important for various reasons. I don't know, except what I've read in the news about Caleb Harris being missing. But over the years, some of you that have followed me for a while have understood that I speak out at times on social issues and things like that. One of them I spoke out on over the last many years was because I work with a lot of homeless friends on the streets. And over the years, there's always a conflict in communities when you have a homeless population. Oftentimes, there are things they do that are not good. The homeless do at times leave messes in the streets and camps and things like that. But I've had other homeless friends that have said, well, John, we're not all that way, which I understand. But because those things happen, people initially get tired. So I complained to Facebook and others that there was a group. Now, this is not associating this group with anything I'm going to mention, but I had complained that there was a local group and they publicized, it was a Facebook group. I'm not in that group, but they publicized words to the effect of, we are now at the point of, problems with the homeless in our community. And it was their goal, and they defined it as basically to go out and legally harass the homeless, which meant if you see them, beep your horns if you see them. But what I had friends tell me was that they were attempting to run them over at times, multiple ones, that they hit dumpsters and stuff around the area where Caleb actually does his fishing and stuff, from what I read in the news. Because this is all right in this area, right? These few miles where I'm pointing is all the Oso Bay and where all the water is. And so Caleb was a student that lived in some apartments on the other side of this water, Oso Bay. And from what I read, he fished and stuff like that. Now, I've had also friends tell me, John, they're killing the homeless, or they're killing us. And they're getting away with it because people that are involved in these groups that are publicly stated, we want to deal with the homeless and we're tired of being merciful, so we got to do what we got to do. Now, that group has not publicly stated to kill or do anything of that nature. But my friends have said, we know that people, have run over so many of the homeless. And I've had friends that were run over that they told me so and so got hit by a vehicle or whatever. And I have never read a report in the news, though they were killed, meaning some of the homeless over the last 10 years were killed, that I knew they were killed, and I never seen anything on it. And so what that upset me was, is there even official reports done in some of those cases? Or are those people connected in corruption in the community? Now, this is the concern, and I have no information except what's been on my mind, which is this. From what I saw on the news, and his family has now come out, there was another article this morning, they're going to go national. Obviously, they want to find their son, and we pray that Caleb will be found. But what I thought about in the last 3 weeks, reading up on this particular case, was it seems as if they said there was a door cam video. I saw the picture on the news. I didn't watch the video, but it showed Caleb, and maybe the young boy was, high or whatever. I'm not accusing Caleb of that. But maybe he was, college students do things like that. And he fishes from what they were showing on the news, like in the areas where a lot of the homeless are. And if someone that targets the homeless, if they're an organized group that target the homeless, and they're affiliated with people that are locally connected, meaning that's what my friends feel like, that they were getting away with getting rid of the homeless because there were people connected. So if there's a group that does that and they're affiliated with people in the community that are in law enforcement or whatever, joining the group legally, and if they mistook Caleb as a homeless person late at night, looking disheveled, but because he's a college student that maybe was partying, if something like that happened, then that could be a reason why this young boy has not been found. Now, I'm just stating that to help the dad who's concerned, because it is they made a big effort to find Caleb, and I do sit by the water spots where I live. You see me make videos there, and I've seen the helicopter searching and everything. So the family wants to not let this fall by the wayside. And so I just share it because the concern is this. I'm not accusing anyone of illegal acts, but the things that happen with the homeless, I did feel like there were deaths and missing homeless over the years, and that there was nothing on it. It was intended for no one to know. And when friends would tell me, John, this person almost hit me, and this happened, or I've had multiple ones that were killed. They were hit by vehicles and killed, and I had never seen anything, police reports or anything, or police things on it. And so, for Mr. Harris, we pray for your son. I do this just because I felt like that was a concern to me. That if someone that did target the homeless mistook Caleb as that, and then after the fact realized, oh, this wasn't one of those, that would make it more difficult for you to find your son, because many of those others are not found, or many that were killed, and that I've not seen things on my friends that were killed over these last 10 years, not just recently. So this would just be for Caleb Harris, who is missing in Corpus Christi, Texas. They're there's a reward for Caleb. The family put out now, they upped the reward to a $50,000 reward. I'll keep it under 10. I'll put this also on TikTok as well as my other sites. Hopefully it will go up, but this is just on that. So the concern is not a conspiracy theory. The concern is, if there are people that were targeting homeless, which there are, and if they mistook Caleb as that, that could be a reason why they cannot find the kid. And if something bad happened to Caleb, even the family wants resolution. They would hope for the boy to be found alive, obviously. But if such a long period of time, a lot of times you're now going to be looking for someone that might have died. But either way, this should be resolved, and that might be a roadblock. So, Mr. Harris, Caleb's dad, I just saw your article today that you're going to go national with it. We pray that your boy would be found safely, but that we'd see resolution to this, okay? So I want to bless everybody, and I just felt I needed to share that. Hopefully this will upload. I'm having difficulty with this phone. Caleb Harris.